Cup drivers with 5 years more experience are going to be limited to 10 races in the Xfinity Series next year? That came off really disjointed because this is the second time I've tried to record this video because this computer that I'm recording on is such a flaming hot pile of just a paper bag filled with steaming hot dog shit lit on fire and thrown into someone's window. Fuck this computer. Anyway, so let me try and do everything all over again. So yeah, I said on Twitter that I was going to make this video on Friday, and I didn't have any premonition that this was going to be that the announcement was going to come. Originally, this was going to be a big, long, nuanced discussion of the possibilities of it happening next year. And I had all this evidence that they were going to limit it because you could see guys like Hemrick coming in. And the Junior Motorsports, Byron, Sadler, and Allgaier all locked in, with Junior Motorsports themselves announcing that the 88 was going to run a part-time schedule. So much evidence that this was going to happen, so now that it's been announced before making this video, I feel a lot less smart. Which is unfortunate, because, you know, I need my ego to be stroked every once in a while. Anyway, so when I heard this announcement, it took a while for the true meaning of this whole thing to set in. Because basically, what this is saying now, what NASCAR is saying is that the Xfinity Series and Truck Series are now officially developmental series. Because before, there used to be, when there was the Busch Series and all that good shit, it used to be what kind of like the Xfinity Series was back in the Elliott Sadler versus Regan Smith days. Guys that couldn't make it in Cup, or guys trying to build their brand, and that's Xfinity Series. So, and that's kind of what the Truck Series was too for a while. I'd say the Xfinity Series has been a developmental series for longer than the Truck Series, easily. Especially the Xfinity, because, you know, like Kenseth, Hamlin, everyone getting, you know, primed in the Xfinity Series, getting gone through there. Anyway, this video was much better the first time around, I swear. But the first thing that I said when I saw the announcement was, that's not enough. It needs to be limited far more than that. But I really thought about it for a minute, and it's like, NASCAR is officially saying that, yes, this is a developmental series by doing this. And I know. Also, I want to say one thing about like the Talladega race reviews and stuff like that. The Talladega videos. I saw all these people commenting, "Oh, kamikaze! You're just butthurt that Truex didn't move on." Duh. 8 months. 8 months of watching Truex's season come together, watching him put together a championship run, and it all comes crashing out because of a goddamn fucking engine. Yeah, I'm a little fucking angry about that. Get the fucking hint? Not the point of this video. Yeah, everyone's like, what everyone says is that, well, they can't do this because the sponsors want the guys who can win. And you see, the problem stems from Cup drivers to begin with. If it weren't for the Cup drivers, we wouldn't have this problem. You see, Cup drivers come in and win every damn race. Every damn race. I think Elliott Sadler is a great example. A great example of this. One main was going to leave the sport. They were done after this year. Then Elliott Sadler won a race. And suddenly one main's like, you know what? Maybe we'll stay. Isn't it strange how sponsors become a little bit more adamant to give their money to a driver when they win? Isn't that strange? Let's say, for example, you're some big business owner out there and you're tuning into NASCAR for the very first time. You're like, I got $500,000 and I want to drop it on a driver to expand our consumer base. So you pop on an Xfinity race, and what do you see? the announcers do their best to try and make the race about the guys. They'll give interviews to guys like Brendan Gaughan. They'll give interviews to guys like Bubba Wallace. And the announcers will try everything in their power to make them sound good. But the results on the track speak for themselves. When the person that wins the race is the same damn Cup driver every single time, what is that $500,000 business owner gonna give their money to? I think they give it to the one that's gonna expand their brand the best. That's my opinion. And the guy that's gonna expand your brand the best is the one that wins every damn race. Even Eric Jones is impacted by this. Every race that Kyle Busch wins is potential sponsorship and exposure for Eric Jones. You want to know why there haven't been big rookies coming into the series for so long? It's because none of them are winning, because Cup drivers are winning every race. If it weren't for these Cup drivers winning every race, because even guys like Ty Dillon, he hasn't won in years. And he's trying to get into Cup Series, but there's no sponsors to back him. Because no one wants to be associated with a guy that's not going to expand their brand. Until you get into victory lane and the camera's on you at all times, leading all these laps, cameras on you. Believe it or not, sponsors aren't going to want that. Believe it or not, sponsors really like exposure. This is even hurting Jones, because if you're the $500,000 guy and you're going to drop some money on someone, are you going to drop it on the guy in the 70 car that runs 40th every week? Or are you going to drop it on the guy in the 14 Camry that runs 10th every week and doesn't get a single mention from anyone anywhere? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. Taking the Cup drivers out of the equation means that more guys can get into victory lane and expand their brands. The reason that there's no big rookies coming in is because all these Cup drivers come in and take all the wins, take all the exposure. Because no sponsor is going to want to just drop all their money on some guy who's not going to get any TV exposure. That's the entire point of sponsorship, is exposing your brand to a wider demographic. And it's not that fucking complicated. Because you see, you know why Chase Elliott was so revered? Because he had all these wins. He actually got wins. And so many of those races were in races where there weren't even Cup guys. I take, for example, the Iowa race in 2014, I think. Chase won at Iowa. I'm probably wrong, but he was battling like Larson or whatever, and that doesn't mean much. That was Larson's rookie year, so that doesn't mean much right now. I mean, it would mean a little bit now, but not then. Anyway, yeah. He won that race, and that's how you get sponsors, man. That's how you get sponsors. Point is, with this limiting factors, there's a lot more than just 5 years that they're limited. There's drivers with 5 or year. It's 180 races is the official word. 180 races in the Sprint Cup Series. They can't run and dash for cash events, and they can't run in the chase events. That is a pretty significant amount of races, but still everything else is fair game, which is obviously a problem. But it's a start. It's a start. And I emphasize the Xfinity series because the Truck Series hasn't been an issue all year. And the trucks have been having some of the best races all season. What are the odds of that? Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, right? You know what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. I wouldn't pin it all on the Cup guys though, because truck races they got a great package right now. A little rough around the edges, but still better than most Cup races. Anyway, point is that with these limiting factors, like they need to do more. They really need to do more. But when you really think about it, NASCAR is really taking a stand. They are really making a statement, even with just 10 races. Like, when everyone was saying, they should be limited to 5 races, I was like, that's still too much. Limit them further. I was saying 2 at most. 2 at most. So you could put them both in Xfinity or both in trucks, or split them between Xfinity and trucks. 2 other races at most. That's what I said. Even 10 races is too much. But it's really a massive statement from NASCAR, because I think like we're going to be moving to much less. The gap's going to be shrinking significantly. It's going to be much less races in the future is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, really, that's about it. That's about it. It's going to be less in the future. Because, like, even to have, like, ease teams into it now. But you see, well, I thought it was going to be more, honestly. Because you got Tiff moving up. Going to fill all the spots in the 18 that he doesn't deserve. You see, I don't know. I think I named everyone. There's Hemrick. There's Tift. There's Byron. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Custer and Cindric, them guys, basically. What I'm trying to say is that it's changing for the better. Needs to be more, though. Really needs to be more. It makes it far more likely that Xfinity Series drivers will be able to win races and expand their brands. Because now, the Xfinity Series can actually be where names are made. Because up until now, if we're going to be perfectly honest, the only person whose name has been made in the Xfinity Series is Kyle Busch. Because he wins every damn race. No one else has. Whose name has been made in the series? Who? Name a driver. Like Chase Elliott is the only one. Only one. And that's because he's been heralded. You see, like the Talladega race, everyone was talking about, well, everyone has to help Chase win this race. Now that Bowman's up there by himself, he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to help Chase. Who said he had to help Chase in the first place? If I'm Bowman, I'm going to go for the win regardless. Who cares about Chase? If I'm Bowman, looking at the possibility of these being my final races as a Sprint Cup Series driver, I'm going to go for it. Who cares about Chase? I'm sorry. Yeah, if it weren't for the announcers jacking off Chase every chance that they get, I don't think anyone's name would be made in the Xfinity Series, to be perfectly honest. Austin? If he wasn't in a 3, no one talk about him. Larson? He did what? 5 Xfinity races before moving up to the Cup? Ricky Stenhouse? Is that what you said? Ricky Stenhouse? He's lucky to find a sponsor. Yeah, you win 2 of these championships. 2 Xfinity nationwide. 2 Xfinity championships. No sponsorship to be found. No sponsorship to be found. You can blame most of that on Jack, but at the same time, no sponsorship to be found. Like, even when he was going on championship runs, he'd run the car unsponsored. That's Johnny Benson levels of commitment. I can't. He was going on these championship runs around 2010 and 2011 when it was the 54 and 22 show. Oh. Yeah. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Yeah. Point is, this is a step in the right direction, but more needs to be done. It's a good wake up call to teams and sponsors that it's gonna start changing, and you need to get your shit straightened out. There are plenty of younger guys in the series right now. The Truck Series is just drowning in them, and the Xfinity Series already had enough to begin with. So, if these limitations get shrunk down more and more to like at most 5, absolute most 5 to split between both series, like not even 5 in one, 5 in the other. No, 5 max in both, absolute max. I still say 2, 2. That's my happy medium right there. But 5 at the absolute asinine most. Okay. Step in the right direction. We'll see what happens next year. Will a name finally be made in this series? Only time will tell. So yeah. Anyway, this has been after 5 goddamn long years of waiting for this stupid fucking computer up. I turned the damn thing off. It said don't turn off your computer. Well, it's not going to update, so I just turned it off. And undoing the changes that I did was just faster than sitting through the goddamn 5 goddamn hour long fucking updates. Windows 10 sucks dick. This is why I'm not putting it in my other computer. You can't turn off updating. On Windows 7, you can turn off updating so you don't have to deal with that shit. This computer? No. You have to update. It's such a piece of shit. It takes 5 goddamn hours. I'm not even kidding. It takes 5 hours. I'm not even kidding. This computer sucks dick. But anyway, step in the right direction. Keep it up. NASCAR made a good decision. Hallelujah. Never thought I'd see that day. Ah, whatever. Bye.